Okay, and just before the start, I want just to inform that we will record this meeting. So I hope there will be no obligations on that. And Thomas will say welcome word.
Welcome. Yes. Girdit mus?
Taip, girdim.
Patvirtinkit, ar girdit mus?
Girdim.
Okay. Čia.
Ar tikrai?
Ne, čia reikia
Šitą? Sveiki, ar girdit mus nuotoliniu, kurie esate?
Taip, girdim.
Taip, viskas gerai. Gerai. So, good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you here, our guests in Vilnius. It's already snow. It's surprising for us also. I mean, in the last, I don't know, 5 years, I think that there were not so many snow already in November. So this is a surprise, but I think that, you know, in this case, you can feel a little bit Lithuania more. Because just recently, 2 weeks ago, we were in Athens. It was a little bit different weather, so I think that it's a big difference. So nice to see you here. Yes, today we have the workshop on the EIFFEL project. We have colleagues from different institutions. Most of them are online. And dear participants, we will now participate in the workshop of EIFFEL project. This is a Horizon 2020 program, European Union program project, in which the paying agency is participating, one of many our projects. And this project is for 3 years, so it started in May last year, and we are now somewhere in the middle of the project. And this is now the right time to see the first results of the project, which are related to Lithuania, because there are 5 use cases in the project. And Lithuania is participating in one of the use cases which relates to agriculture. So our colleagues from Greece today are visiting Lithuania, and they will show us the first results of soil classification, as we call it, yeah? Soil classification. We can call it like this, yeah, or land cover and soil classification in the pilot zone of Lithuania. And they will describe the methodology, they will show the results, and then we would ask you all together to raise the questions. And if any you will have regarding any aspect or any principle or topic, because the idea is to have the live discussion and to have the discussion on the results. And of course, these are the first results, so possibly there will be questions on the quality, questions on the methodology. So we need to clarify this, because in the course of the project we will be advancing with this results. And in the end of the project, there is a goal to have reusable results. Yeah, so the results that we would use in our daily activities. So I would ask you to be active. If any questions, please ask, and then I will give the floor to Aušrius to speak up a little bit more in detail about the project, and then to our Greek colleagues about the results that they produced.
Okay, so we have some, oh yeah, no problems. It's working on the camera. So now you can see us. So yeah, let's start regarding the presentations. Yeah, thank you, Thomas, for introduction. And yeah, this is Horizon 2020 EIFFEL project, and it's concrete pilot 2 workshop. And this pilot will develop land representation system for efficient estimation of carbon stock changes and measures that influence emission of greenhouse gases. And this will be used by farmers and policymakers to manage local and national microclimate effects more efficiently in support of a shift towards a low carbon and climate resiliency economy in agriculture. So throughout the workshop, the presented topics will be discussed. Horizon 2020 EIFFEL project, innovative applications for Earth observation, demonstration of services and applications created under EIFFEL project, how do we manage and protect soil in Lithuania under European policies, innovative in situ solutions for soil monitoring, and NPA, National Observation of Athens, and i-BEC introductions. So now we are starting with the introduction. So shortly about National Ping Agency. So last year we paid over 600 million of euros to farmers as a financial aid. We have more than 700 colleagues in the Ping Agency, together with territorial units. And the main structure is management and departments, 3 independent branches, and 20 territorial subdivisions. And our main goals and tasks, so participate in European Commission seasons, work with the other related institutions and partners, take part in creating new and modifying existing national legislations, develop e-services to ensure more efficient and precise work processes, announce the possibility of received financial aid dedicated to farmers, and last but the most important, ensure that farmers receive a financial aid provided by the European Union and the Lithuanian Treasury efficiently and fast. And now I'm giving the floor to my colleague, Nicoforos. So he will explain this scheme.
Thank you very much. I am Nikiforos Samarinas. I am a researcher in InterBalkan Environment Center. Before I begin, I would like to thank you all that you are going to participate in this workshop, the first workshop in the whole EIFFEL project. We are the first pilot that we are have this workshop. Thank you also you, Austrius, Thomas, Joris. We coordinate this workshop together, and also for the hospitality here in cold Lithuania. And I would like also to introduce my colleagues here today, because, okay, I mainly coordinate this workshop, but today it will not be, how to say, one-man show. We have a team from i-BEC. So I'm Nikiforos Samarinas, I'm environmentalist. I have my colleague here, Eleni Kalopesa. She's an agronomist. Nikolaos Giolas, he's also an agronomist. Konstantinos Kariotis, he's a mathematician. And Nikolaos Tsakiridis, he's an electrical engineer. And also after this slide, Roxani, who is from the other technical partner of Pilot 2, the National Observatory of Athens. So in brief, I would like to introduce our organization, InterBalkan Environment Center, established in the north part of Greece, in a city called Thessaloniki. Actually, it is the biggest city in Greece after our capital, Athens. Our organization is it's a non-profit organization. We trying to develop state-of-the-art technologies in order to support the general sustainable management of environmental resources. We have a lot of different topics that actually we are working to, but our main pillar is the Earth observation and remote sensing, as well as the spectroscopy. We are trying to combine different Earth observation techniques with the synergy of advanced processing and advanced modeling, and especially with in the framework also EIFFEL, in the framework of EIFFEL, explainable artificial intelligence techniques. We have a lot of researchers, as I already mentioned, of different groups, scientific groups. We are very active in the scientific community with more than 40 journal scientific publications. And right now we have 9 solely related ongoing projects, especially Horizon projects like EIFFEL, Source for Africa, Dion, which also we included in the agenda in session B, and we are going to provide the results of this project, who also participated as National Oceanic Agency. They say project, the World Soils project, who actually is very similar regarding our products that we are going to present today, and also 4 new Horizon projects, the AI Soil for Health, Carbonica, Scalac Data, and Theros, which actually are going to start it early next year from January. I don't want to be boring and spend a lot of time, so next is my colleague Roxani.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you for hosting us here in Lithuania and for everyone for participating in this workshop. So I am Roxanne Larilia. I am a research associate and project manager at the National Observatory of Athens, and specifically the Beyond Center of Excellence. And today I'm on behalf of our team, as well as with Yorgos Giannarakis, Vasilis Konstantinou, and our research director, Haralabos Kodoes. So in general, the Beyond Center focuses on using space technology to address different priorities and objectives from multiple sectors, specifically in the general thematic areas of agriculture, natural disasters, climate change, energy, and health and epidemics. And more on what is has to do with today's also workshop is our activities on the data provision for agricultural agroecological applications, which include smart farming, monitoring of the common agricultural policy, food security and ecosystem services, and climate change. EIFFEL is included in many of those thematic areas, and today we will present more on how we are trying to assess the sustainable management practices to achieve the objectives of the common agricultural policy. So that's it for a quick introduction from me. So I'll give the floor to the next thing in the agenda.
Yes, so hello again. And firstly, I introduced myself, but I forgot before. So my name is Oshis Kuchinskas. I'm from the PE agency responsible for the controls, monitoring, remote controls on the spot checks. So talking about soil management and protection under the umbrella of European policies, what unites us all, I mean, like in Greece, Lithuania, and all other countries in the European Union, that Europe decided to be modern and to be neutral content region in the world until 2050. So the main goals for the Green Deal is produce no net emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050, decouple economic growth from resource use, and include each person in each country into the process. And what Green Deal benefits can we expect? So first, fresh air and clean water, and healthy soil and biodiversity, cleaner and more sufficient energy, and healthy and affordable food. So this is also, I think, more important now when the war is here in Europe. So these goals are even more important than it was before. Now talking about agricultural policies in Lithuania. So with the new CAP, with the new strategic plan, which by the way was confirmed by European Commission yesterday, and Lithuania and Greece at the same time, the same day. So we have 16 total eco schemes, and the most related with soil protection ecoschemes we have, it's soil slope soil protection. When there are hills 12% of degrees, so in this sensitive in these sensitive parcels, it is not allowed to plant some specific crops, which could cause an erosion. Also, another eco-scheme is for winter crops during the winter, so it's not allowed to leave bare soil during the winter because it's also could cause soil erosion and damages to the environmental. And another one, and it's quite new in Lithuania, so it's reduced tillage. So we have an eco scheme for no tillage or just for no tillage agricultural practices. So it's introduced also this year, and it will be a support for that. And these fields must be tilled without any flipping dirt, and and also it was in greening period, but not in such a way. There was a crop diversification that you need to diversify your crops inside your holding, but this is the new requirement crop rotation, and it's also in the new eco scheme. And also there is a GAIAC, but the eco scheme has some top-up requirements. So according to this scheme, there are obligation not to put the same plant in the same parcel for 2 years in a row. Yeah, so this is the most important eco schemes that now it's in Lithuania regarding to the soil protection, but also there are, as I mentioned, 12 different schemes regarding to the other protection of environmental. And what issues we are facing regarding agricultural soil protection so far? So yeah, no large scale data is available regarding the agricultural soil protection. And agricultural soil overuse prevention and monitoring is difficult, and also lack of data prevents planning strategic action plans. And what can EIFFEL change? So there are already a prototype of soil organic content map product in the pilot area, and still at works map of parcels capable of sustainable agriculture and soil content map. But I'm not the best specialist here, so I'm giving back the floor to my colleague Stenikoforos, and yeah, he will continue from here.
Thank you once again, Austrius. So I will start the presentation with a general description of EIFFEL project, and after that, how we are planning to deliver these geospatial outputs, the methodologies, and the initiatives of this Pilot 2 action. So, in general, as Ausius said, the EIFFEL project is funded by the European Union, is a Horizon 2020 project, and this is a phrase that I like it very much, and I think it's a key phrase for EIFFEL project. EIFFEL, it is a game changer in the domain of climate change adaptation and mitigation by harvesting the benefits of the GEOS data, the Group of Earth Observation System Services. But actually what we are planning to do with this project and why it is a game changer. First of all, we have actually a lot of partners, 19 partners from different countries, and generally speaking, we are trying to improve the services from GEOS. And how we are planning to improve based on the search engine of GEOS. Imagine that we have the Google Earth engine, but now we want to improve a search engine especially for geospatial products. We have a lot of interactions. We have a co-design approach. We have 5 different pilots. This workshop refers in pilot 2, the sustainable agriculture. And through these pilots, we are going to implement all these tools from this project. Also, one of the main topic of this project is to use advanced modeling techniques, explainable artificial techniques, in order first to improve the spatial resolution of the geospatial products in all of the pilots, and also to understand, especially for pilot 2, the different management practices and how we are going to benefit from different, let's say, scenarios in this project. Especially now for pilot 2, sustainable agriculture national scale, we trying to taking advantages of the synergy of different components, the explainable artificial intelligence component. We use a lot, and we are lucky that here in Lithuania you have it in open access, the land parcel identification system and EIFFEL datasets. Also from the Lucas dataset, we use also the Lucas dataset in order to train our models based on this, and with combination from the EIFFEL information, and also big data analytics. I'm going to explain a little bit more in next slides what exactly is this. And based on this combination, we are trying to generate geospatial outputs in order to support European policies, such as the common agricultural policies. And all these outputs and services from pilot 2 goes to the end user, and specifically to the National PEC Agency of Lithuania. In brief here, our pilot has 3 different parts. The first part, which it's named, I named spectral and digital soil modeling, taking advantage from OpenGeo's data, in situ data, the land parcel identification system, and EIFFEL data, in order to produce enhanced geospatial products right now for soil organic carbon and clay in this phase of the project. And these products are going to provide improved inputs to the part B, where an agricultural hybrid model, a physical process-based model, is responsible to predict the soil organic carbon sequestration, which actually is the final product that we are going to provide to the end user. And also part C, agri-environmental indicators, who responsible is the National Observatory of Athens, and they are going to have a description also, a specific description also in this part. And from part A and B, we are going to feed this part C, and to recognize the good practices in the whole country. Here it is a graph, a flow chart, which describes especially the 2 first parts, where, in a more technical way, of course, where through a digital soil modeling, we are trying first to find out the exposed soils in the whole country, in the whole Lithuania, and also in the vegetated soils, in grasslands and forests. And we want to have as a final predictions for soil organic carbon and clay content, but the goal here is to improve the resolution and to have higher predicting performance. These outputs, the soil organic carbon and clay will be utilized by a physically process-based model, and the soil organic carbon sequestration can be generated and produced. Also, based on this, let's say, baseline scenario, the first simulation, we have the opportunity to explore different farm management practices and climate conditions, and this is something that we are going to discuss also with you. What is the scenarios that maybe do you prefer to simulate, and to see the differences in the national scale, okay, in the whole country. For me, this is a very important slide. This is a very important presentation because it is going to help us to understand how difficult it is to handle all this information that you provided to us, and also it is an open access based on GEOS data and generally in the scientific community. We are in Lithuania. Our pilot region is Lithuania. Imagine that the Sentinel-2, the satellite sensor, which can provide open access satellite imagery data. In order to cover the whole country, we need 24 Sentinel-2 tiles. Okay, for the national scale. The area of Lithuania has a total number of 65,300 square kilometers. It is a large area, and actually it is an agricultural land with total number of parcels based on EIFFEL that you provided to us, and also it is open, and we are lucky for that. Approximately 1 million of parcel, a very big number. And in order to improve the products and to provide it with higher spatial resolutions, the spatial resolution of Sentinel-2 is 10 meters. So in order to cover only the cropland areas for the whole country, we need approximately 1 billion of pixels. This number increases if we add also the vegetated areas in the simulations, which is more than 20 million of pixels. This is a very big number to handle, to process, to storage, but we gave a very big effort in this first round of EIFFEL project from month 1 to month 18 in the middle of the project, and we have also the first results, the alpha versions of the products. Now imagine that we want to provide an output, we want to provide a product in a specific period. And actually here I must mention that the outputs of this project, it will be yearly estimations. Okay, so if we want to filter the period for the satellite imagery data from March to October, and for 3 years, then we need 80 images per tile. And we have, as already mentioned, 24 tiles to cover the whole country. This means that at the end of the day, we need approximately 2,000 of satellite imagery data. Also a very big number. And this means that approximately we need 1 terabyte of satellite imagery data per year. Also a big number. And here it is very crucial because we face a general scientific and processing problem, big data management and handling problem. How you can handle all this data, how you can storage all this data, how you can process all this information. Trust me, it is very, very, very difficult. This is why in the framework of EIFFEL project, and not only the framework of EIFFEL project, general as a research team and as an organization, and with the help especially for the electrical engineering team, we developed a soil data cube based on the open data cube, but this is a custom infrastructure in order to process, in order to storage, in order to have some benefits for the final services. In a definition, this soil data cube is a powerful digital infrastructure to provide analysis-ready data for soil health monitoring. So we made an automated procedure to download all this information for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years. It depends on the user requirements. Storage this information, handling this information, make processing approaches and also modeling approaches in order to generate geospatial output. So all this pipeline, it is not automated right now, but it is a semi-automated procedure. Here also a very, very important slide in order to understand how these products that we are going to present today, also in the session B on this workshop, are based on. This is maybe the most crucial product. This is the bare soil product, the exposed soils in the country. Here we have as a demonstration area. It is a north part of Lithuania region. It is a small region, but actually it has a total number of parcels, 2,040, 57 total parcels, this area. The goal here is to see how many of the total number of these parcels are exposed per year, but in a specific time period from March to October. So through this animation, we can see that for 2018, 2019, and 2020, this is the final products, and we have the exposed parcels for this time period. Based on these 3 different years, we can have the final result, the final map of the exposed soils based on a median value of these 3 years. This is the bare soil composite product. The important thing here is that based on this product, we have the predictions. The predictions in cropland areas in Lithuania are based on these parcels, not to all the parcels. Not all the parcels. It is impossible to have predictions in cultivated areas, in permanent cultivated areas. This is why first we found the exposed parcels, and after that we made the predictions only in these parcels. But with this methodology, this is a 3-year product of the bare soil, we have a more representative formation and more representative map of the exposed soils in an area. This is a small area, but we made it, and we are going to present it in a national scale. So the end user, the national paying agency or other end user maybe can use it in at a national scale right now. Based on this product, as I already mentioned, right now, in the framework of EIFFEL project, and not only in this project, we have already some soil health indicators, some soil health indicator predictions based on the bare soil product. So we have maybe the most important for now, the soil organic carbon content in support of maintenance of soil organic matter in croplands. A first simulation, a first attempt, the soil organic carbon sequestration index. And here I must highlight that all these products that we are going to present today are alpha version. We will have a discussion about the accuracy and the model performances, but we are going to provide also updated versions. We are in the middle of the project. It is a very trustable product, but we will be an updated version of this. Also, land suitability, the suitability of agricultural land for maintain permanent grasslands. Also, an attempt in order to describe the land degradation at parcel level in support of environmental impact assessment due to agricultural activities, and the bare soil occurrence index in support of minimum soil coverage monitoring and verification of GAEC-4. This is a product especially based on the exposed parcels and how many times in a specific period, based on the end user requirements, we can see a parcel that it is exposed. I think it's very, very important for an end user like you. Like,
for the compliance.
Yes, exactly. And this is a slide in order to describe the improved products in a more detailed way and to understand why our methodology is different and why our products are better. This is the same region, the small region in north part of Lithuania, where have a spatial resolution of 250 meters based on MODIS sensor, based on MODIS data. This is the soil organic carbon, and this is a parcel, which actually is a big parcel, and how we can see the values inside the parcel for soil organic carbon content. This is our methodology. But not the product that you ask to provide it to you, because this is not parcel level. This is pixel-based product with 10 meter of resolution. So the big advantage here is that you can have information inside the parcel. You can have discrimination inside the parcel. You can see different regions inside of the parcel with a very high spatial resolution. But in order to provide it to you, the product that you ask for, the parcel level, first of all, we must mask this product with a 10 meter resolution with your LPIS and TX information per year, and this is the final output. This is the final output at parcel level. So we made all this procedure, all this methodology at a national scale in order to provide to you this result at parcel level. So at the end of the day, you will have one value per parcel. I think this is the important for you, but also we must understand and highlight that the information in the second map is more detailed. Okay. And because we trust our products and we gave a big effort for this soil organic carbon and clay content, same approach as soil organic carbon content, we try to explore also, let's say, a new soil health indicator recognized as a land degradation index from the European Environmental Agency called shock clay ratio product. So imagine that we have the soil organic carbon content map, the clay content map. We can take the ratio of the two, and based on some thresholds, we can have a final output and a description of land degradation information again at parcel level. So at the end of the day, the same parcel, we can describe it as a degraded parcel based on the products of soil organic carbon and clay only. Okay, it is an index based on shock and clay product. Roxani, you can take the lead from here.
Thank you, Nikiforos. A bit more further to Nikiforos gave a great description of what the EIFFEL project includes for pilot 2 in general, but specifically for subtask C, which is what the National Observatory, what the Beyond Center has developed. What the grant agreement refers to is to showcase how the climate change application in the context of EIFFEL can showcase how the how specific management, how agricultural management practices can achieve sustainable and resilient agriculture. So based on that, we have been utilizing big data Earth observation, big Earth observation data, including climatic data, crop metrics data, environmental data, data that has been provided by the National Paying Agency in terms of LPIS or the ecofields, which is, I think, the organic farming at the parcel level. Of course, soil metrics that are provided, and soil metrics and soil properties that are provided by the by i-BEC, and all this combination of data are included in a land suitability analysis to provide a product that refers to whether a specific practice is suitable or not, highly or lower suitable to apply a specific management practice to achieve a climate smart and resilient agriculture. So a bit on what the motivation was behind our tool. We all know that the main issue with the Common Agricultural Policy, with the previous Common Agricultural Policy, was that the management practices and measures were mostly horizontally implemented across the different regions, without taking into account the specific, the local specificities of the regions in terms of climatic and environmental conditions or soil properties, or in general other ecological functions and characteristics that the different countries had. So in the end, we would have maybe a specific management practice that could be applied in a specific area and would provide a positive effect on the environment and the climate general objectives of the EU. But in other countries, maybe the same management practice would not have a similar impact, maybe not impact at all, or in some cases they could result on even in in further environmental degradation, specifically if some of these measures would include maybe agricultural intensification as part of the increasing demand for agricultural products. So what the new Common Agricultural Policy seeks to for the next years is enhance the contribution of agriculture to achieve specific climate and environmental objectives of the EU, provide more targeted support, and the most important, it allows a greater flexibility for member states, which is part of the CAP strategic plan as well, to adapt measures to local conditions, taking into account the differences in climate, soil, and environmental characteristics. So, and in fact, from the different countries, we can see that indeed the EU funding is reserved for mostly for achieving environmental and climate conditions under rural development plans, and again, the implementation of eco schemes under the direct payments. But what are the challenges to achieve all these objectives for the different countries? We know that there is an increasing demand for agricultural products that it usually could lead in agricultural intensification, which in the end can lead to climate change and further environmental degradation. Of course, if we would to see it in a more soil specific perspective, to reverse that, we would want a bit on agriculture to facilitate the process of crops to naturally capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it in soil, which in the end could maximize the soil carbon degradation, enlarging in general the global carbon sink, which can positively affect or can facilitate the climate change in terms of reversing the negative impacts in the environment and society in general. And of course, taking into account the local differences in climate, soil, land use, environmental characteristics, as these have a different environmental response to the interventions that are carried out by farmers, that indeed are implementing specific measures based on the policy that are implemented in the different regions. So what is the problem or the questions that we are trying to ask is whether a specific management practice can be more positively impactful to the environment, and that we can achieve by understanding the suitability of land for applying these specific agricultural practices, and these could provide important information for sustainable agricultural planning. So the artificial intelligence solutions that we are proposing is a land suitability tool, which assesses the suitability of land or cropland in specific for applying sustainable management practices, specifically based on the list of eco-schemes, of potential eco-schemes on the sustainable practices that have been proposed by the European Commission. So this could be achieved by using historical data to predict the impact that agricultural practices had on a specific metric, in this case, the soil organic carbon that has been provided by i-BEC, conditionally on specific agro-environmental conditions of the region. And the predicted impact would result on a land suitability score for a given practice at a parcel level. Of course, how we would choose to which sustainable management practices we would choose. Previously, it was mentioned that 16 eco-schemes have been proposed for the Lithuanian plan, if I am not mistaken. Of course, we did not have that list in the beginning, so we went for a bit on a literature review on what is important for the Lithuanian landscapes, as well as we went to the list of potential agricultural practices that eco-schemes could support based on what has been proposed by the EU, and we identified basically five general concepts, five general groups, which included the conversion and maintenance of organic farming, crop rotation, for example, with leguminous crops, which is important for nitrogen fixation, which is indeed important for climate change. Then we have use of crop and plant varieties more resilient to climate change, the establishment and maintenance of permanent grassland, and agricultural landscape diversity. So based on what we had in terms of the data, we went for the alpha version. For the I have highlighted the wrong practice. We went for the no, okay, I highlighted the correct practice. So we went for the maintenance of organic farming, which is the ecofields data that was provided by the NPA, and the maintenance of permanent grasslands, which is the grasslands that are being the grasslands, I think, that are existent for more than 5 years at the parcel. So in the end, we have a land suitability tool, let's say land suitability index, which is a product from an analysis for applying the sustainable agricultural management practices. In this case, we depict the permanent grassland suitability for maintaining soil organic carbon. So what we have is a product that can be used for personalizing policy measures by considering specific local and climate, environmental and soil conditions to meet the specific objectives of the European Green Deal and the Common Agricultural Policy. So a bit on what you can see in the image, the more yellow, let's say, it's the more highly suitable is for the specific parcel to be, it's more suitable for permanent grasslands to be applied in order to in order to, let's say, have a more positive impact on soil organic carbon. Of course, we can see that in more detail on the demonstration in the next session, but this is the general product. So you would have at the parcel level how and in what way permanent grasslands and ecofields as well, because we have a product on ecofields, how that have a positive or a negative impact on soil organic carbon, and whether that specific practice is more or less highly suitable to be applied on a specific area. That's it for.
Thank you. And we have a question from Vidas. I don't know, Vidas, maybe you can ask it orally, or I can just read it. It's in the chat, so okay. The wind and solar electricity farms are increasing when the queries of sand and gravel are increasing. The areas of high quality of arable land are reduced. Arable soil is rapidly replaced to concrete. What is your opinion on this type of soil destruction? Can the high productive soil suitable for growing food be exchanged to wind power farms? Does this electricity wind farms correspond with soil health?
Well, that is a really specific question. Not sure if it's for either of us. Let us, could we see it? Yeah, in the.
With this, maybe you can clarify and this question, and yeah.
Can we see it on the screen?
Yeah, we can see it on the screen now. Also, yeah, if you have a question, just raise your hand and let's communicate, let's speak, because I see also another question in the chat by Virginius Fiza.
I can try to give an
Micro.
It's a very good question. Actually, this is exactly what we mentioned as a soil sealing. Soil sealing is a very big problem. Also in the Mediterranean, we can mention as an example the island of Malta. Malta has a very big increase in constructions. So they would like to decide how we are going to expand our cities. They don't have so much land. So actually, if we combine the land suitability product from National Observatory of Athens and also the product presented by Nikiforos, my colleague, about the level of organic matter content that we have in different places in Lithuania, we can decide how we can make a different land suitability policy and land reclamation plan and all these things. So this is a good point because the proposed methodological frameworks and also the spatial products presented by the colleagues can be used not only by the National PEC Agency, but also from the Ministry of Environment or from the Ministry of Development. So actually, we are moving in an evidence-based policy, and we have to take into account all these aspects in order to make different activities, not only in the agricultural domain, but also in the electricity and in the energy domain. So the question that is arised and that we have to have as a cornerstone is how we can manage what we don't know. And here today we are. And today we are here in order to give some answers about organic matter, about the land suitability, and all these things. But this is a very crucial point about where we are going to build, where we are going to establish solar panels, and this is in, let's say, cooperation with the scientists in order to provide the information about the land and the land degradation levels. That's a general answer.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you. Also, another question, it's from Vilnius Lithuania institution provide data for Lucas.
Actually, Lucas dataset, it's open. It's not a closed dataset. No one provided to us. Lucas dataset are developed by JRC, Joint Research Center. It is an open dataset. Everybody can download it. And the latest version released 5 months ago, I think. The updated version released, yes, during the summer period. But it's open data.
And Virginius, did we answer to your question? If not, you can clarify.
Hello. I was interested in action of Lucas because our Center of Lithuanian Agriculture and Forestry is taking part in the AGP project soil. So we've been asking to join the Lucas activity, and we have been looking here in Lithuania who is responsible and provides data for Lucas. And unfortunately, we cannot find any one institution who is working with this data. And it's strange that this database is refreshed by Lithuania 5 months ago. So this is the question I wonder, who provides data? Thank you.
Micro. It's
Maybe it's a question for National PEC Agency of Lithuania. It's a discussion between different departments in the country. Because I already mentioned that it's open data.
yeah, okay, but
Okay.
I don't understand the point of the question. Who provided the data? You made the analysis, I believe, and you provide input to JRC. Also, my colleague Kostas shared the link of where you can download the data set. So, what exactly is the question and the point of the question?
The point is that because we've been asking to provide data for Lucas, but we've been looking who is working with this Lucas here in our country, and unfortunately we couldn't find institution or person. So I wonder how these data are coming to this database.
yeah, okay. The data regarding to the parcels, well, to our geospatial system, land parcel information system. So it's coming from us, but not like directly from us because it's open data in our geo portal. So we provide it with this, shapes, but no, not the data regarding to the soil because yeah, we are not collecting it. Yeah, as a paying agency.
The actual question is who makes the soil sampling? Who collects the data?
Okay.
I think this is conducted by JRC.
It could be by JRC.
Probably there are some partners here in Lithuania that they do the soil sampling, but the sampling scheme and the protocol and all the procedures are done by Joint Research Center. If this is the question.
Yes, yes, there are two questions. Who makes sampling and another, who makes analysis?
Yeah, probably I can give an answer. The soil sampling is performed every 3 years, coordinated by GRC. So now we have the third release of the Lucas library. It's completely open, and we really appreciate the work done by GRC in order to provide all this information as an open access to the European community. It's a very big project. I think the cost will be around 8 million per campaign. So this is coordinated by GRC. About the soil analysis, the significant difference of Lucas library is that the soil analysis is being performed in one laboratory, I think is in Hungary, and this is the strong of this dataset, that is a harmonized dataset since it follows the same protocol and the same principles for all the measurements. So I can understand your point, who is the local point. We don't know about Lithuania. It's completely different tenders in different countries, coordinated by GRC, as I mentioned. And this is something completely different with the project that you mentioned, the EGP Soil. EGP Soil is another Age 2020 project, is already running, and the work that the EGP Soil has is to harmonize also local dataset. It's not completely the same with the Lucas library.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, talking about the paying agency action. So on the project, we did some soil sampling together with i-BEC, your colleagues. So our inspectors went to some pilot zones to make the soil sampling in last year and the year, well, 2021 and 2022. So 2 years in a row in small pilot zones, and the results, I think it will be presented in the afternoon's session, but it's not in the large scale, not on the whole Lithuania, it's just in the small pilot zones and in the small scale. And the results
It will be at national scale.
Sorry?
It will be at national scale.
Oh yeah, but the soil sampling was taking in the pilot zones, just the small ones.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And oh yeah, I see plenty of questions. Okay, Kestutis from Art21. According to this map, are we planning to support marginal highly suitable? So Kestutis, you are talking about our support, European Union support, that we are paying from the paying agency, right?
I think it's maybe a question to me, whether because I showed a map with highly and marginally suitable practices. So the idea here is not to just provide a map and tell you whether one practice is highly suitable, so you should apply these to the specific area. The idea is to provide a list of different agricultural practices that are suitable for the different maybe crop metrics, in this case soil organic carbon. So in the end we would have maybe a composite indicator, maybe, not sure, of whether in a specific parcel which practices may be highly or not highly suitable for maybe soil organic carbon. So we could have in the end a practice that would achieve the different objectives and not just one objective. That was the issue with the different with the horizontal implementations with the previous CAP. So yes, in one sense, we would propose what specific practice is highly suitable for a specific area, but in the end, it will be the decision of maybe you, the National Paying Agency, or the Ministry of Agriculture, to whether you find these practices indeed highly suitable or not, based on the conditions that the Lithuanian landscapes are characterized by.
Yes, and if I understood the question well, so it's so far it's not related with any support. For example, if you have some parcels which needed, a different practice, and you will get more support. So yeah, so far it's not related, and so far it's a goal to make like a map for the kind of recommendations for the farmers and to publish it to upload it somewhere where they can easily reach. So, just to see if I am wrong, please clarify the question.
That's okay, thank you.
Okay, and Ronaldos, as far as I understood from your presentation, you use Lucas dataset for soil organic carbon prediction. First question, when was this data collected? Second, what do you think is 457 soil data points a sufficient sample to predict soil organic carbon at national Lithuania level? Third, are there different soil types and factors that interfere with see predictions, for example, soil moisture, clay content, canopy cover?
Yes, I can understand this question, and very good question. And based on this question, you can understand the whole methodology that we implemented for our products. Yes, right now we trained our models based on this 457 soil data points from Lucas dataset. But I mentioned also in my presentation that this is the alpha versions of these products, will be updated products. And why will be updated products? Because yes, it's not enough. Never is enough. Every time we need data. More data, better predictions. We are planning also to include in the pipeline, in the methodology, with the Lucas dataset, also data that the National Peak Agency of Lithuania provided to us, especially for soil organic carbon. We have values, we have measurements, in situ measurements of soil organic carbon based on laboratory analysis. You provided to us. But as my colleague Nico said before, we are facing a huge problem, which actually all the scientific community faced, the harmonization problem. This is why Lucas dataset is very important and very good survey, because all the data are harmonized. Right now, we are trying to find a way in order to harmonize the Lucas data values with the data that you provided to us. We believe that in the next months, this will be achieved from our team, and this is our vision in order to include also the in situ dataset that you provided. And then we believe that we will have also better predictions. So very good question. And regarding the third question, are there different soil types and factors? Yes, of course. Everything can have impact on the final product, on the final predictions. For soil moisture, maybe we can in a future predictions, in a future let's say different future projects, because it is a big discussion for soil moisture. We can also include other satellite sensor like Sentinel-1 in order to understand the soil moisture in parcel level and to include it in the pipeline and to improve also the predictions. Maybe yes, you can.
About the importance of Lucas, okay, at the Lithuanian case, we had the chance to have some extra data, some extra observations from National Peak Agency, but since our methodology needs to be transferred also to a pan-European scale, let's say, not all countries are willing to share their data. They treat them as their property because they come from expensive measurement. That's why Lucas is a very powerful tool for everyone. And that's why we initiated our analysis and our modeling based on that.
Yes, thank you, Kostas and Nicoforos.
Again.
And yeah, and another thing that yeah, this is the alpha version, the prototype of this soil organic carbon map, and yeah, we are now facing the issue that we are not like lacking of the in-situ data, but it would be very useful to have more in-situ data to train the model to make it more valid and more better. And if you guys, colleagues, have something to share with us, we would be really appreciate it. I mean, in-situ data about the soil situation in specific parcels. And another thing, Ronaldas, we have conducted similar research in 2021-22. We collected new soil samples in Lithuania, for example, about 650 samples are at different scales, local and regional. Similar studies are conducted in many European countries. You can find more information here. Yes, and Ronaldo's this institute data that you collected, it's it's shareable or not? If I ask you like that, if you are able to speak. Okay, no microphone. Okay, yeah. And yeah, Kestutis, based on CAP or other regulations, is it mandatory to have a suitability report audit to evaluate the suitability, solid organic carbon and environmental impact for farming before applying for the payment? So no, it is not, as far as I know, at least in Lithuania. Except one scheme in agro-environmental measure where you need to do soil analysis, soil research, but it's just one small scheme regarding to high quality of products. But in the whole scale, yes, you are not needed. So I think it's time for the break. Yeah, for 17 minutes break. So let's come back or not, well, not disconnecting. Let's not disconnect, and we will continue at 11. And I think we will continue some more interesting parts. It's because here it was more theoretical part, and after that
Yes.
it will be more piloting part, more demonstration part. So Nico, first you can shortly we have, yeah, and then Nico, first you can shortly maybe describe what will be after 11 o'clock.
Yes, we are going to present different products in different years via a web visualization engine. You will have access on this. And also, we prepared a live questionnaire based on the products that we are going to present, and you can explore also these first insights of our services.
Okay, thank you. So we will continue in 16 minutes at 11. Thank you very much for your questions, and yeah. So hello again. So we will continue with the demo session, and I'll give the floor to Nicoforos again.
Yes, thank you, Austrius. Again, welcome back, everybody. We are going to go to session B. For us, it is the most important session for this workshop. This is all the products. This is the demonstration part. We need your participation here and your contribution and your feedback, everything. So I will have a lot of support and help from my colleague, Nikolaos Tsakiridis. Actually, he's behind of this web visualization engine that we are going to present it to you. I would like also to mention that in the agenda, also in the digital agenda, at the right down corner, it is a QR code that you can scan with your smartphone camera, and goes directly to the website where web visualization engine, the web viewer hosted. I think it's not necessary to do it now because everything will be presented via this share screen. And the first thing that we must do is to present you some general information regarding the satellite imagery browser that we can download the images. Nikos is going to present it. But before this, let's Nikos show the Slido or this one. Okay.
I will
Okay,
start
perfect.
with a very, very brief introduction. For those of you that are not familiar with remote sensing products or with the Sentinel-2 constellation satellites from the Copernicus services, I am here on this page that's provided by Synergize, an independent company, but has a very nice visualization engine called Earth Observation Browser, EO Browser. And I just want to show you our raw information, what this entails, what the data from the Sentinel-2 sensors actually are. I have focused in the Lithuanian country. I have selected the Sentinel-2 dataset to search, and the period that covers the previous month, starting from October to November, so these two couple of last months, and with a max cloud coverage of 20%. And as you can see already in the last couple of months, we already have some regions here that are not cloud-free, that were not cloud-free. And even those returned results that we have are almost completely covered with clouds. This is a major hurdle, serious issue with Lithuania, that during almost all of winter, there is a huge cloud coverage. This is something that we need to overcome. I'm visualizing now an example that I saw that covers well, pretty much most of Lithuania, again, is covered with cloud, but there are some widespread pixels, some areas that are cloud-free. Basically, our system automatically downloads all this data, some of these that are visualized here. It removes, using a cloud filter, the shadows and the clouds themselves, and focuses only on the bare, only on the areas that are not covered with clouds. For example, I'm focusing now on an agricultural area, just randomly browsing. And the idea behind the processing stage now, after we have filtered out the clouds, is to automatically identify which of these areas are vegetated and which of these areas are bare soil. This is why the results that Nikiforos showed you previously were small patches with scattered pixels throughout, because this is a pixel-based approach and it focuses on the cloud-free images. Afterwards, this is only a snapshot in time. only this point of time is covered. What we do is we stack all these images together using our Open Data Cube, our Solid Data Cube solution. And using AI methodologies, we develop these products that we are about to show you. Now, before I continue with our web viewer that demonstrates these end products, these results, I would like to invite you all to join our event on Slido. You can do that by scanning this QR code or entering the code number that is depicted on the left-hand side of the screen. So if you browse at slido.com and enter this code, you will be able to join our Slido. It will be easier there to gather your ideas and your questions about the products that we are about to show you. We're going to be asking some specific questions for each of the products that we are going to be showing you. And in order to familiarize yourself with this interface, we're going to start with a very small fun quiz with a few questions that we would like you to play with us. And we will see who has the most knowledge about Lithuanian basketball. Okay.
Maybe we can.
I'm going to activate the quiz. And now if you scan the QR code or join at slido.com, you can enter your name, join the quiz, and you can play along. I'm going to give you some one more minute, just so you'll be able to join and familiarize yourself with this interface. All right, think I can, I see that the user count is increasing, so I'm just waiting a couple of more seconds. Okay, I think it's pretty stable now. So the first question is, how many times has the Lithuanian men's basketball team defeated the USA team in official games? I forgot to mention that there is a time limit of 20 seconds, so you have to be fast. Great. I see most of you voted once, and this is also the correct answer. And I think it was a game in the Olympic Games.
In Athens.
In Athens, exactly. Did it be with us? The next question is, who of the following Lithuanian basketball players have played for a Greek basketball team? There could be more than one. Correct answers. Okay, that was a trick question. Because all of them are correct. All of them have played for at least one Greek team. For example, Jaskevicius twice for Panathinaikos, Matsiauskas for Olympiakos, etc. So all of you were correct in this question. And the final question is, how many times has Žalgiris Kaunas reached the EuroLeague Final Four? Okay, some of you voted twice, and the second most popular is 4 times. If we are correct, it is only 2 times. We also thought that it would have been a larger number when we asked that question. Thank you all for participating. Hopefully you familiarize yourself how the voting procedure goes on. Big congratulations to Ellie, who won again, with the hardest question, of course, being our trick question. Who of the following Lithuanian basketball players have played for a Greek team? You can also ask questions here. It will be also very easy to see the questions that you have on this interface on Slido. And without further ado, I will switch now to our digital soil map viewer. As Nikiforos said, you will be able to see this page also after this meeting has ended, so you can play along. But for now, we will be sharing our screen, so it will be easy to see some results. I will start with the bare soil.
Make a general description, Nick.
Yeah, okay. So what we see right here, I will maximize also the screen so it's easier to see it. On the left-hand side, we have a pane. We can select the various years. We have 3-year products, so we have data from 2019, 20, and 21. You can select the products on the left-hand side, and you can also filter by the crop type. We have 2 base maps currently that you can use. One of them is the OpenStreetMap, currently activated, and the other is the satellite view from ESRI, the ESRI World Imagery. The data, of course, are loaded live from our Open GeoServer, where they are currently hosted. And I will start with the first product, which is the bare soil. Nikiforos, I don't know if you want to have a small description of the product.
First of all, Nikos, I want to mention that this version, can you open also the about?
Certainly.
Yes, it is the alpha version of this web viewer. It will be improved in the period of time. Also at the end of the EIFFEL project, it will be different, but the idea will be remain the same. Here also in the about, you can have some information regarding the EIFFEL project and specifically the pilot 2, and also an infograph for the power of our soil data. Also important is the link EIFFEL project plus pilot, so you can directly go to the official web page of the EIFFEL project, and also to our web page, the InterBalkan Environment Center web page. So here we have for 2019 we covered the whole country with the bare soil products. We can tell you with this product where is the exposed soils for this year. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. Here it's not a parcel level product; it is a pixel based product. But based on this, we have the final parcel level predictions for some indicators. All the years are not the same. For 2019, we have the bare soil occurrence, soil organic carbon, clay, and land degradation. If you go to 2020, we have also some extra information, like soil organic carbon sequestration, or the 2 products produced based on soak and clay content by the other technical partner of pilot to the National Observatory of Athens. If you go for example, 2020, 1 year, we have also the variation of soil organic carbon content for 3 years, from 2019 to 2021. So it's different per year. We don't know exactly the final version of this web viewer, but for now this is the viewer. So yes, we can go again to 2019, Nikos. And based now on this bare soil product, we can have information, as already described in my presentation, for let's say the bare soil occurrence product, which is specifically the exposed soils. Again, everything is at national scale. How many times we can find the exposed parcels for the period of November to December. The previous product, the bare soil product, it is a 3-year product from March to October. This is a specific period, so we can tell you from November to December how many times a parcel identified as exposed. This is also a discussion that we must have with you, let's say regarding the period or the period. It depends, let's say, from the end user. It's not, let's say, totally, how to say, it's not only for November to December. This
can
what I would say. Yeah, this can say it's regarding to the end user requirements. So again, in the third bullet, the soil organic carbon content.
Prior to that, maybe
Yes.
we should ask the questions we have prepared in slide about bare soil.
Before the soil organic carbon. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you have right, Nikos. You have right, Nikos. You have right.
So we have prepared a couple of questions about the bare soil. So this pixel-based information that we showed you, how important do you consider it to be as end users? Would you like to see this information on an annual basis? We're not talking right now about the critical time periods, but only about the annual products delivered that give you an idea of how exposed your soil is. All right, at least the initial voting indicates that people are quite interested in this product. Not even this pixel-based solution that gives you not only soil color, but the spectral reflectance composite of the whole country is something that is interesting for the end users and that they can make use of it. Okay, this is an interesting find.
70 people have already voted.
I think it was 25 that participated in our quiz, and almost all people that have voted consider it fairly important. Okay.
I think we can move to the next.
I will move to the next question. The bare soil occurrence product that shows you exactly how many times its parcel was identified to be bare. How useful did you consider this product to verify if the GAEC 4 related to minimum soil coverage? Again, at least initial findings suggest that this is interesting, and of course this is understandable as this is tied to a policy aspect. This was more expected to get more traction.
Yes, and based on the votings,
it's
more important.
More important than the bare soil composite. Again, understandable, because this is tied to something that is very specific. And now this shows you across the year how many times, or across a very specific time period. It could be, for example, for November or December, or for specific months that you choose. to see how many times exactly the soil was bare on this parcel. But it also might be a good idea to perform a temporal analysis to see exactly how many days, weeks, or months the given parcel was bare sequentially and successively for all this time. So this is just an idea that we have. Do you consider this thing, the monitoring of the duration of the bare soil exposure, to be also important? Would you like to see that, for example, a given parcel was bare for 3 months in this critical period? And from all the Sentinel-2 images that we managed to cover that were cloud-free, that we could identify that this indeed was bare.
Yeah, cloud-free and snow-free.
And snow-free, yes, yes. Something that we forget.
You have totally right, because we have specific filters for snow.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting find again. That people are indeed interested in this type of product that we didn't show, I have to mention, in our web viewer, but would be interesting to have a temporal analysis and actually see if in this sensitive period, which is crop specific, if indeed the soil was bare. Okay, thank you all very much for
Thank you very much. Yes.
for voting and giving us your opinion on these products. This was very important to us to understand if these initial preliminary stages of processing that take place that sometimes are under the hood in order to derive the final products that Nikiforos will now present are also important to you, or we should just keep them as intermediate products. I think this finding suggests that we should release also these intermediate results, of the analysis that we have. Okay, don't want to waste too much
Yes.
of our precious time.
We can go back to the
And I will move back to the
to
viewer.
the web viewer and to move forward also to the other products. And let's say the main outputs right now, the soil organic carbon content product, again, for the whole Lithuania region, and at parcel level, as you can see from the map, also with this view, we can also detect some areas which are poor of soak, or some areas which are the soak is has higher values. And now, if you go a little bit closer, you
Zoom
can
in.
have, yes, you can zoom in, of course. You can have also the parcel level information, also with the boundaries of the parcel. This is the mask that we used based on the LPIS and TX dataset that you provided to us, especially for the year 2019. You have the legend there. We have the values of soil organic carbon content, grams per kilos, and separated in 4 different classes for now. Maybe it's not the final legend, but for now this is the legend. And also with the help of Nikos, we have also the pop-up available here. So if you click in one parcel, you have some specific information. This is also information based on dataset on LPIS and TX dataset, objective ID, PSL code that it is Lithuanian codes for specific parcels. The KW, it means, I don't know, maybe maybe corn, maybe yes. We left it as it is. We didn't make any changes in that, and of course the soil organic carbon content value. For this parcel, it's 9 grams per kilos. If you go to another parcel, you will have also the same information. And again, if you are here, and let's say, Nikos, that we want to go in this parcel, we have the soil organic carbon as 14 grams per kilos, and code as DOB. And if you go, Nikos, to 2020, again in the same in the same area, the soil organic carbon content, you will have the product for 2020. If the parcel included, because we find it as exposed and we have information, we have predictions for soil organic carbon. If not, we can have predictions for the specific parcel. Furthermore, you have also in this version the choice to pick a specific crop. If we pick the crop with the code KV when the question mark, it's not the question mark, it's KV with the Lithuanian Z.
It's winter.
Yes, is
Winter,
exactly,
winter,
exactly. Very good house. You know your products.
Yeah, but
Yes,
it should be
it's
like,
it is yes,
clear
exactly,
letter.
exactly.
This is why they are alpha versions. These
Yeah.
things.
Yes, we will improve all this stuff based also on your recommendations on this. And if you go
Again,
to soil
Flop.
organic carbon content, you have specific information only for this crop. Again, the pop-up is available for you and can provide you information regarding the soil organic carbon content. So you can navigate in every area in Lithuania and take information. If you don't have
Should we
anything to
also-
add,
we can also
yes, we can all
depict the clay
we
content
can also go to clay content
for, I don't know, again,
2019. Yes,
2019.
again the product for
Filtered to a specific crop.
yes, filter the specific crop, the clay content. Again, the pop-up is activated and you can use it to take a value for clay at a specific parcel. Yes. Also the base map, you can say it's the base map. Here we have also a second base map. It's more a natural base map. Yes, also the opacity filter in order to see the background. And the pop-up choice. I think, Nikos, we can go back to the Slido.
questions.
Yes, the Slido in order to have the questions based on these products that you just showed, the soil organic carbon and clay content.
So the first question is, what are your requirements regarding the monitoring depth of soil organic carbon content? What you saw right now was just topsoil, so 0 to 30 centimeters. This is what the Lucas topsoil database provides also. So the question is, do you want us to monitor different horizons, different depths as well? You can choose more than one answers here.
Approximately, we have answers for 20 people.
Yes, I think it's understandable to see
Yes, yes, yes.
the topsoil being the most predominant choice. Lots of people also consider not only the first layer, but the second horizon as well as important, the 50% right now. Voted that they would like to see that also. Yeah, from a remote sensing perspective, the topsoil is what is visible, the bare soil, the top few centimeters. This is what generates the reflectance that the sensor sees that the satellite captures. And to go on a layer deeper, digital soil modeling techniques are usually used. It's something that we did not touch upon on the EIFFEL project, but it's interesting to note that half of you consider this also as an important layer of information. Okay, thank you very much for voting. Another question that we have is, given that we now have the new CAP, how important is it for the environmental authorities to monitor and report on both soil organic carbon on topsoil here and the clay content? Do you consider this to be an important product? As a side note, as part of the World Soils project that is funded by ISA, where we are participating, we had a review meeting only a week ago. There it was decided that at least for the European scale, the products of soil organic carbon will be generated on a triannual basis, so every 3 years, like the Lucas campaign. So it's also perhaps important to ask what do you consider as an important temporal resolution for these products? Do you think, Osrius, that annual products are better, or do they generate more noise?
I don't know how we call them in the pink. It's more often we get the results, it's the better. It doesn't matter, the data. Yeah, it's more often we are getting, so it's better. Of course, for soil organic, the soil doesn't change so fast.
Definitely.
3-year cycle, it's okay. Yeah, but more often it's the better.
Great. Again, considered widely important.
Yes.
Now, besides soil organic carbon and clay content that we demonstrated, what other soil health indicators are useful for you in order to achieve CAP monitoring and better farming advisory systems? This is a free text, if I recall correctly, question, so you can type in other soil health indicators that you consider important and just giving a suggestion, total nitrogen, for example. Got some votes for pH and nitrogen.
I think pH wins here.
And there are some also suggestions for soil structure, soil aggregation, and for acidity and phosphorus content. But the two most predominant ones are the nitrogen content and pH. It's interesting to note that Lucas also covers these two soil parameters. So the same points that we have and deep learning models that have been developed to simultaneously predict both shock and clay content may be utilized for both of these parameters as drop-in replacements. I see some people are still typing,
Yes,
that's why I'm holding to get their insights as well. Got an extra vote for nitrogen. And microbiological activity is also a very interesting aspect. I don't know, Eli, if you want
to add something
to pinch in on that regard.
This one to map it, it needs soil sampling field campaign, so it would be difficult. But yes, it's quite an important factor.
I think there are a couple of EU projects that are targeting microbiological activity, at least as point data, perform sampling. This is also a very interesting suggestion that should be given some thought. Thank you all very much for voting and for giving us suggestions for our future work. And one other aspect that we saw was the ability to filter for specific crops. So a question that we have, at least for the paying agents, but also for you as end users, is do you consider this important, or would you rather integrate the maps on your workflows and work with the tools that you know.
Yeah, of course, if you take this product as a shape file, this information included, but it is important for us to know it.
the web viewer.
If if we must add it as an option for the web viewer engine.
I think yes wins by a huge margin.
Of course.
So this is something that we must work on, not include
Yes.
only winter wheat, but also include the other crops.
Some other.
And perhaps get the translation, the
In
mapping,
English. Yes.
of the 3-letter code to the actual crops and include it in the web viewer. Okay, perfect. We heard you loud and clear on this one. I think these are the questions.
Yes, we must go back to the web viewer and move forward. And now I must clarify that not all of these products are going to develop in EIFFEL project. Some of the products is not outputs from the EIFFEL project. It's a general output as InterBalkan Environment Center. For example, land degradation index, it's not as an EIFFEL product. So this is a product, as already described in my presentation, based on the shock clay ratio, based on the two above products. We have also write it down in the legend, land degradation shock clay ratio, and we have a binary logic here. So we have information in parcel level, degraded and non-degraded. Here, I want to ask Nikos to zoom out to see the whole Lithuania. And now we can have also a discussion. From here, we can have areas less degraded based on this index. This part, Nikos,
You are
at the left,
showing the eastern part of Lithuania.
Yes, the eastern part, and
Sorry, the western part.
and little bit down. And actually, it's very reasonable because if we go in the shock product, we can have
Of the same
yes, of the same year. Yes, again, we have also areas with let's say higher values of soil organic carbon content. Again, in land degradation. Nikos, if you go to the part at the north part, close to this rectangle, this demonstration area that we have here, we can see this is the rectangle that I showed to you in my presentation in session A. We have more degraded parcels. Again, I think here we have a pop-up, so you can see a specific parcel. Okay. Yes, let's see this. What is the crop here? And this is the value 1, describe the degraded description. And if we go to a green, we have 0 value, which is a non-degraded. Maybe in the future, in the next version, we will have description degraded or non-degraded in the pop-up menu. So also for this product, we have for 2020, we have it for 2021. Yes, in different years. Again, approximately the same view for the whole country. And we have also some questions via the slide regarding this product.
I think the question refers to shock sequestration.
Here.
Yeah.
So we can go back to shock sequestration.
Very quickly, see shock sequestration here.
And here we must clarify some things because this is the final product that we must provide to National Park Agency of Lithuania. in the framework of Pilot 2, in the framework of EIFFEL project. For sure, this is not a final final product. It is a first attempt that we made. We didn't include any specific improved information from the soil organic carbon and clay content. The physical process-based model that we are implemented called ROTHC also FAO utilize this this physically process-based model. Here is a map produced only with it is a map based only with open and existing datasets and information. Actually, if we going to the let's say raw simulation of this model, we have a rather coarse resolution. It is a resolution of 250 meters, if I remember well. But in order to give parcel level information, we just filtered this product with the EX dataset for the year of 20 yes, for the year of 2020. We must update it for sure. This this product we are planning to give input to this model based on the soil organic carbon and clay content that we produced in a final spatial resolution and at parcel level. And the final version will be a different product. But if you not have the choice to use enhanced geospatial products of soil organic carbon and clay, this is a product that you will have.
I will move back to
yes
the slide though. And the question is, describe the what-if scenarios you want to see based on the current situation related to the shock sequestration for Lithuania.
Yeah, so I can see it louder. So I will be interesting to see what would happen. Yeah, but there's two microphones. So yeah, so it would be interesting to see and to predict what is going to be in the future if our farmers, if we behave like this, I mean, with the soil. So it could be threatening at some point, but you know, it's better to see it now, what's happening, and yeah, to make the decisions accordingly. Maybe we need to go step forward to the greening, not to the greening, to the Green Deal, or maybe not. So this is one of the scenarios what could be interesting to see in the software. And also, yeah, so I will repeat it, but yeah, regarding the data, it's you know, so far we or maybe later we will go on the discussions. I have some questions for the discussion together with partners in Lithuania.
A lot of text.
Yes, a lot of suggestions. So some of them are, for example, how does climate change affect shock sequestration, or some simulations of the impact of changes in groundwater depth, again, climate change, shock sequestration, and shocks and stocks. And there is the greenhouse, again, gas emission effects that keeps coming up.
Yes, a lot of ideas, and thank you very much for your feedback here.
So greenhouse gas emissions can be tied to shock sequestration. And this is something that most people, I think, indicate as important to see. There's also one other participant typing, so I will hold. Oh, I think that was it.
I believe yes, Nikos.
Okay.
One participant typing. We can wait. Okay, they need time also to think.
Obviously, it's something that
we spend months to think.
We spent a lot of years thinking. This is an interesting idea. Then users wish to see how shock sequestration is different in different parts of the country, if they're delineated using geographical and agropedology zones, for example, like lowlands, pits, etc., during these 3 to 5 years. This is something that can be tackled statistically wise in identifying these zones and gathering some statistics on shock sequestration. And this is also something that gives me an idea about land use and land use change. Yeah, the point of Roxanne is, of course, very to the point. How the different agricultural practices in the what-if scenarios can, what is their effect on shock sequestration. Yeah, thank you all very much for these highly interesting ideas and thoughts. I don't recall if our next question is covers the products that we have.
Okay, we can go.
Let me quickly check.
Don't worry, Nikos.
Should we go? Should I use?
Yes, if it's not, we can go to the web viewer.
Yes. Okay. We can leave this question for now, and then
yes, we can go back.
We can demonstrate the results of Delta Shock.
Yes.
And the results from Roxanne.
It is the last product from our side, and we have also 2 other products. So we can go to the web viewer again. So if you go to 2021 here, you have the option of product of Delta Shock. We have 5 different classes. So we will see that, yes, again, it is at national scale, how the soil organic carbon content changed based on this period, 2019 to 2021. Some parcels are stable regarding the soil organic carbon. Some others have a slight decrease. Some others have high increase. But I totally agree with Aousios, who mentioned before that the changes of soil organic carbon, it's not enough 3 years. We need 5, 7 years to see significant changes for this indicator. Yes, it's not available, of course, for other years. Roxani, you can come if you want, or you can speak from there, because also based on soil organic carbon and clay content that we provided to the other technical partners of Pilot 2, we have also produced, or we have already generated products of ecofield suitability and grassland suitability, again at national scale and at parcel level. Roxanne, you can present the...
Yes, thank you. So this is to give again a brief overview of what we are providing to this pilot is a land suitability tool to present, to showcase which agricultural practices have either enhanced or decreased at the moment soil organic carbon content at the parcel level. Of course, this is an alpha version. That's why you are seeing the different grid cells. That is a result of the climatic data that we have used. So based on this, if you zoom a bit, if you zoom in a bit, you can see at the parcel level whether at this specific indicator, whether ecofields or organic farming, which is data provided by the NPA, is in which way it is suitable to be applied on the different parcel level, on different parcels for this specific case to enhance soil organic carbon content. And similarly for the grassland suitability index, you can see how the maintenance of permanent grasslands, which is an eco-scheme from the potential list of the sustainable agricultural practices provided by the European Commission. So how the maintenance of grasslands, of permanent grasslands, are suitable in terms of their storing capacity for soil organic carbon content. So we can see that it is probably based on, of course, because it is permanent grassland, we can see how the grassland abundance has affected this index, but we can see in other cases that maybe if a specific practice for the grasslands are applied to a different area that is not highly suitable, we can see what would be the specific impact on soil organic carbon. So based on this, which is we would really like to make a discussion maybe now or later, whether from the paying agency itself or from the different users and other agencies that are in the participants in these workshops, either also from the Ministry of Agriculture, whether what other potential sustainable practices you find is more related for the Lithuanian landscapes, which also we would like to know whether you find them that could be detectable via Earth observation systems and methods. So because you mentioned in the beginning that they are 16 eco-schemes, not sure whether you can share that with us, or if you could maybe mention one or two that we could potentially include on this suitability index and provide a more holistic list of which are the most sustainable indicators to store carbon, soil organic carbon. And in that sense, what is your part for the CAP strategic plan? Because we are talking about eco schemes, and who is maybe responsible for developing and evaluating these programs? Because we know that in January of 2023, the CAP strategic plans will begin, and as of 2024, each EU country, including Lithuania, will present an annual performance report. So in what way are you involved in this procedure? Maybe Aushus, if you have any idea, or maybe anyone from the participants.
Yeah, so for annual performance report, so the first report will be given to European Commission in 2024, after the first year. Yeah, and this that data, it will be included from the declarations, from our statistical parts, and also from satellites that we are running algorithms are inside, and also, it could be also indicators like here for soil organic carbon. So yeah, for the question. Could you
How
clarify?
involved are you in this development of the CAP strategic plan?
Yeah, so the paying agency, we will give all the data which is related with our work, with our stuff. So yeah, we were involved a lot, how to say. Yeah, because we are data hub, how to say. So yeah, we will give the data and we will measure the indicators if reached or not according to the strategic plans to the oh. Okay, so did you hear us? Because I think that we face some problems with the teams. So please confirm somebody who is here from distance. Okay. So now it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So So we used in this case two agricultural practices, management practices: the ecofields, which is the organic farming that you provided to us, and the maintenance of permanent grasslands. Are those somewhere near in the 16 potential eco schemes that you have proposed, that has been proposed to the CAP strategic plan for Lithuania?
Yes, it is. But also, I want to raise a question and to discuss together, well, to the colleagues on Teams in Lithuania and Greek colleagues, so about the validation, because if you want, to report, we need to trust the data and to trust the results. So it's very interesting regarding to Ronaldo's maybe experience or Ronaldo's colleagues, because you mentioned that last year you made also the research. So how you are validating this data, and maybe there is something that is published because now we have some kind of layers, organic carbon, clay content, and so on. But to be trustfully for them, we need to validate and see if it is the true on the map. So yeah, it's very interesting where in your experience how you're doing that, and also on that. So maybe somebody could comment on this.
From our side, just to be more quick, yes. Of course, our index is based on the input data, so the validation would maybe fall a bit more onto what are the input data, in our case, the soil organic carbon or the different LPIS data that is provided to us. Of course, I think in the context of EIFFEL, we have a task that is focused on validation of these results. So I would really be interested in how we would do that in at least to the case of our index. So for us, it is more on maybe getting feedback from the different users that could use this index and to see whether they find this useful and how they could implement it in practice to their policy design procedures. So I can give.
I would like to give the floor to my colleague Nicolas Giolas, because I think it's a more appropriate person to answer this. And also regarding the pilot 2 the discussion that we had yesterday regarding the farmers and the demonstration area, Nikos, if we want to discuss also in this part of workshop.
Thanks. A valid point is already mentioned by Austrius, how we can validate this data. And as I write in the first comment, it is really important to provide all the spatial products, at least these that have numbers, together with uncertainty maps. This will be also useful for you in order to decide if this is a valuable product or it's not acceptable or it's risky, as the question mentioned here. So at least for soil organic carbon and soil clay, we can provide also the uncertainty maps. And it's really important to use the expertise from the local institutions. It would be very, very important for us to use a dataset from Lithuania in order to enhance also the predictive performance of the models using novel and advanced artificial intelligence techniques, but also to use this product as independent tests. So Dr. Reinaldas from Kaunas University has already mentioned that he has a valuable dataset from 600 soil samples that is collected the last 2 years, and this could be a very useful input for all the institutions in order to validate and use together these products. And based on this, I'm going to answer also what will be the sustainability of EIFFEL products. Virginius is asking about this. Definitely, we are going to provide as a free products all this, and we would like to see other institutions to use our products in order to get more insightful results.
Just as a side note, the alpha versions, what we are demonstrating now, are already freely available for end users, and this will also be the case for the final products. If you want to see these alpha versions, which have not been completely validated, if you look at the agenda, at the bottom right corner, there's a QR code. If you scan it, it will take you directly to our web viewer where you can see this data and can also download them if you want.
Also, this is idea from us to make some kind of stakeholders, like Lithuanian stakeholders communication channel. So maybe it's just a mailing list on our email, but we will send to the participants of this meeting the email, with all the links to that portal to explore by yourselves and to send us, the remarks, the ideas, how to develop it better, and also the slides. We will send it, but we will send it via transfer because it's 36 megabytes. So it will be just a link. And also, we will. It's an idea to make this connection when we have something updated, and also something new versions, not alpha, beta versions, and so on, and also to share with you. And regarding to in situ data, so in situ data makes the products better. So we understand that you have it. Also, we have it from last year, so maybe we also can discuss it for the exchange of that data. And to make our products better. I mean, EIFFEL products and your research products better in your institutions. So this would be the idea. And also, we are running out of time, so I'm giving back.
Yes, I agree. We must speed up a little. We have some yes questions, but we must speed up.
Very quickly, do you prefer the pixel level or the parcel level in terms of predictions across our land aggregation products?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, split decision. Oh, there was a change towards the parcel level, but there is still a significant percentage that I would like to see the spatial explicit information using the pixel level. Almost half and half again. So it would be interesting to also consider providing as open data the pixel level as well. Okay, thank you very much. We have also very, very quickly prepared a small PDF file. Hopefully it will open on the browser. Yeah. So the idea here is to select one or more parcel IDs and get some of information as a report, as a PDF file, as an example here. So again, the idea is to get for specific ID, for specific parcels that are selected by the user, what kind of crop they had, how many times, for example, the different products that we demonstrated. So the question that we have on Slido is which information you want to see in the download descriptive statistics report. Everything. Okay, I won't stay in this question far too long, because I think most people would agree that the more information you have, the better. The more data that you have is the better. So I will.
For more specific information, we can receive a comments afterwards. So that
definitely.
That I introduced.
As I think this is the final question, which format do you prefer the output report, as a PDF file where you read it, or as Excel CSV files or HTML files or XML files, for example, that are more parsable, so you can use them later on automatically in your products? I think formats that that can be.
You must change them.
Yeah, because on Excel you can use that data in your calculations and so
Exactly.
on.
You can ingest it.
You can just transfer to PDF from the Excel, but from PDF to Excel it's hard.
Definitely. So
or CSV regarding the size of the data.
Data-friendly formats.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much. We really thank you. We appreciate your effort here and your feedback. This is the end of the session P. of the session B. We will be back with the updated versions of all the products and the viewer. You must remain the final versions with the end of the EIFFEL project, maybe 1 year and a half from now. And also, I think we can go to session B and to session C, sorry, yes. Do you want to make an introduction for session C, or I can do it? Yes, of course. My colleague Konstantinos Kariotis, we will present some results from another project that ended this year, Dion project. Also, the National Pay Agency of Lithuania is a partner. Must go to the presentation, Kostas. And after that, my colleague from NOAA, Roxanne, will present in brief a suite of satellite-based services for sustainable agriculture. Again, I think it is results from other ended projects where NOAA is a partner. Here. No.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kostas Kariotis. I'm a research associate at i-BEC. First of all, thank you very much for hosting this event. And I'm going to present you some outcomes from the Dione project. It was a Horizon 2020 project that was completed a few weeks ago. i-BEC and the National Pay Agency of Lithuania collaborated for this. And I would like to thank you very much, guys, for the professionalism and the assistance that you provide us to develop and use our products. We decided to put this part here because during also in the discussion and the Q&A session, we recognize that the soil data, the soil analysis are of much importance, and the quality of the produced maps are strongly related to this, the amount and the quality of soil analysis. And of course, the Earth observation and satellite data that we cannot do much about this. It is what it is, but during the next years, a few missions have been announced to come with higher resolution, spatial, temporal, and spectral. So the Dion project had as overarching objective to develop tools for assessing soil quality. And i-BEC developed a device. It is this one that I hold in my hands. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
Here it is.
And you can see
it is, yes.
Very small.
It is a portable, let's say, camera that operates a little bit differently than standard cameras. It works at the near-infrared region, and it captures information that our eye cannot see, and aims to provide quick estimation of some soil properties like soil organic carbon, clay, or pH. Quickly speaking, soil spectroscopy is a reliable technique that gains much attention over the last years that can quickly assess important soil properties. And the most important part is that it is cost-effective and non-destructive, because we do not have to do this extensive chemical analysis. I need to mention that we use this technique as an extension to the traditional laboratory. We need some reference data to validate our models. And we follow an approach of 1 in the laboratory, 10 in the field with soil spectrometers. The soil spectrometer that we developed and showed, and this one here, is portable and connects with typical mobile devices via Bluetooth and operates at 1750 to 2150 nanometers, where many important variables can be detected there. It is connected with Bluetooth, with the mobile phones, and it's also equipped with a small calibration panel. Also, I have a second one next to my colleague Nikos, if you want to pass it over and for people to see. You can give it hand by hand. Not for, it's for the participants,
okay,
or
okay,
you can
okay.
pass it from one to another. Some of the indicators that we can monitor with this device is the soil organic carbon content. You can see at this table the property and the corresponding nanometers. The clay content, the sand fraction, the calcium carbonates, or the pH. So according to the Dion case, soil inspectors of national paying agencies were equipped with one device. A few sampling locations were indicated, and they visited them over a period of 1 week or 2. And they captured, let's say, a scanning, a photo with the device. All the measurements were automatically transmitted to a database that we have at our premises, and a second database that is also located at Athens, at the Polytechnical School of Athens. And coupled with some chemical analysis, we developed some modeling, machine learning modeling, to quickly assess the soil health indicators that we desired. A few characteristics of this device is that it supports Bluetooth connection with a standard smartphone. The user can take an actual photo with the camera of the mobile phone. So this helps us ensure that the procedure was done correctly. He indeed visited the area and did not perform any spoofing. Also, the GPS location is recorded. We provide this to Greek, Lithuanian, and English translations. Also, we include an extensive guide inside the mobile application. It provides a quick spectrum visualization, and also in case that the user does not have an active internet connection, they can transmit the data asynchronously when they can come back to their office, or when they establish again the Wi-Fi connection, the internet connection. Here are some snapshots of how we can acquire the spectral signature. Initially, we perform a login, either with a dedicated sign-on system that we created at the ONE project, or via the Google sign-in with a Google account. Initially, we perform a white reference measurement. And then when we complete that, a new button appears, the soil sample button, and we are ready to take a capture of the topsoil reflectance of soil. A few more technical things that in order to make sure that the quality of our recordings are as desired, we included an outliering behavior, a mechanism that, simply speaking, is we created a collection of everyday non-soil objects. We collected the soil spectral signatures and created a classifier that recognizes that if the data we are trying to transmit come from soil items, from soil targets, or non-soil, let's say a chair or the blue sky. This mechanism presents very good accuracy. And as a last feature is the backend, how we collect all this data. As you can see, all the measurements are transmitted to the database and depicted a table format. We have the reflectance, we have the actual photo of the sampling location, and the estimation here, we can see the soil organic content estimation. Also, another useful visualization is the exact sampling areas, as you can see at the bottom right part of the screen. During Dion, we had 3 pilot areas indicated by National Paying Agency of Lithuania. It was around 10 square kilometers. We indicated some points. Few of them were physically collected and sent to our laboratory to Greece, and we analyzed them. And around 600 measurements for 2 years, so 600 plus 600, 120 measurements were scanned. And based on machine learning algorithms that we developed, we predict these three properties with accuracy more than 70%. So we included this presentation because the Dion solution can be an alternative to traditional laboratory analysis, an extension actually, and we can provide much more analysis. During Dion, we fused our analysis with Lucas dataset, and we produced soil organic content maps or other properties maps with very high accuracy. And some of the achievements of Dion, we increased the capability of monitoring small parcel-dominated regions. We provide also cost-efficient methodologies for assessing soil health conditions without the expensive laboratory analysis. And also the proposed framework is considered modular, thus it can be adjusted to different environmental observation and soil spectrometers to radically transform the environmental monitoring approaches. This is it for me. I will also put at the chat a quick video to demonstrate how you can use the spectrometer. I don't want to take over too much time, so you can relax and watch it after this meeting ends. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Kostas. We have a little time. Yes.
Be really quick. You can, next slide. So to provide a bit of a quick context, we know that paying agency in each member state are responsible for the allocation. Sorry, I just did not make an introduction, so I will be presenting a bit of a products based on a project on Callisto that is as part of the projects of the agricultural team back in Beyond. So again, I will now give the context. So we know that the paying agency in each member state are responsible for the allocation of subsidies to the farmers according to the cultivated crop types in their parcels and according to them being compliant with the CAP guidelines on the agricultural practices. Each year, the farmers declare what crops they will be cultivating for each parcel they own, and for this purpose they use the digital geometries that are provided by the paying agencies. And these farmer declarations are what is known as the LPIS or the IX data. So with the advance in the Sentinel datasets, it was possible to use Sentinel data and past LPIS or IX data in order to train artificial intelligence models and perform crop classification. So comparing the crop classification outcomes with the farmers' declarations, we have agreements and disagreements between the two. And so instead of randomly selecting parcels for inspections out of all the declarations, the paying agency can select from the disagreement pool. And that is on a high level, of course, what is known as smart sampling. So basically, yes, we can go to the next slide. So basically, it is it can select we can be select specific parcels based on the disagreements instead of a completely randomly pool of information, which is the smart part of it. So when declarations and the predictions of the AI models agree, the subsidies can be paid without further inspection. And on the other hand, when disagreements occur, we have candidates for field inspections and paying agency that can handle them depending on the confidence level. Of course, there are difficulties with regards to the scalability and regularity of inspections with the smart farming approach, but this is a really good tool in terms of inspecting the different disagreements on the farmers' declarations. So in order to manage the transition towards the exhaustive monitoring, which is also the post-2020 CAP requirement, we had to incorporate more heterogeneous sources of information so that we have, as we say, it's space to ground data. And these sources of information can be either very high resolution satellite data, they can be coming maybe from UAVs, drones, mounted sensors, or we can also have street level images and in situ acquisitions as well on demand. And it's not only about the data themselves, but we also need to refine these models and adopt specific deep learning architectures and approaches as the data are becoming larger and larger in volume. And next slide. So in Callisto, what we are trying to do is it is trying to, of course, introduce the notion of space-to-ground data availability. For example, from the satellite to the field, in an attempt to make the best out of the complementary characteristics of the different sources. And starting from the space component, the satellite image time series are generated on the parcel level, and in particular, dual polarization, backscatter, and coherence data from Sentinel-1 are included, and as well as 10 bands from Sentinel-2, which are useful in generating informative vegetation indices, are combined and fused. So parcel geometries coming from the LPAS data are utilized in order to transform the space component data into satellite image time series that are aggregated on the parcel level and annotated with crop type labels. And on the on-ground level edge component, the mapillary crowdsourcing platform was used in order to obtain street-level images covering the areas of interest, which were annotated through particular transformations to the acquisition coordinates of each image. And through the use of the georeference parcel geometries, and of course using, the georeference parcel geometries in the LPAS data. So on top of this approach, further preprocessing steps are applied in order to clean up the collected images, extract specific vegetation patches, and improve the quality of the annotations. So the next slide, the main outputs of this application is firstly, we have the deep learning models for crop classification and grassland outlier detection, which are being developed with data coming from the Sentinels as well as from data from the LPIS and other sources that were previously mentioned. And secondly, we have the processing at the edge, which is going to be an enabler for targeted and evidence-based decision-making, increasing the transparency of the inspection processes. And the last slide, we have an example how the mapillary crowdsourcing platform is being used. So here, for example, in Cyprus, we have street level image acquisition for field campaigns, gathering approximately 450,000 pictures across the different paths that were given to the inspector or to anyone that had passed throughout the fields. So that's, I'm just gonna keep it here to not take more time.
Yes, thank you, Roxani. This is the end of this workshop. We have the Q&A session, but we just have 6 minutes till 12:30. I just want to mention that especially the products in session A and session B, the demo session, we can all understand that also from the Slido questionnaire are very important. We can manage microclimate effects as the objectives and goals of the EIFFEL project. And of course, we are looking forward to have your feedback in the future, and we are trying to improve our products and our research too. Ausrus, if you want to mention anything, you can, and we can go to Q&A session, and if everybody has...
Yes, so still waiting your raising hands and questions in chat or orally. First of all, I want to thank to all the participants who were here today on this workshop. And this is, for you, is just a start. So we will update you with all the information. Well, we will send you the links, the slides, and we will ask you Yeah, we will even call you for some exchange of the data as well, and also maybe for the scenarios how to use it in some different ways that we so far we don't know it, but maybe you know it. Also, I want to say a very big thank you for the colleagues from i-BEC and NOAA. So being here and present all the information, all the data, all the slides, that it's very, I think, important in Lithuania in the whole scale, not only for the paying agency, not only for the indicators, but for the whole society and community, which relates to the soil, to the better living, to the better planet. And yeah, so very thank you for all, and waiting, yeah, for your questions. And of course, hopefully, and also for the remarks, maybe something here was here we are more interesting, maybe something we are not so interesting. So do not hesitate to express yourself. Here in the list, I see representative from the Agrar Soil Institute. I don't know how it is in English, but I know that we were discussing since I used to work in the ministry. I'm not sure if you are able to speak to you and you have a micro. So Gediminas Stogaitis, are you here? Because yeah, according to my opinion, he's the he's the best in Lithuania with regards, to the soil research. So yeah, but I'm not sure if he's able to speak right now. Yeah, he's not.
Okay, I think this is the end of the workshop. Once again, thank you all, the participants. Thank you once again for the hospitality, Austrius. And hope to see you in the future again in Greece or here in the cold Lithuania. We'll visit again.
Yeah, and maybe in
Mr.
warm
Kravos.
Vilnius on
Yes.
on summertime.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, thank you very much, and see you and communicate with you on the later stages. And goodbye.
Goodbye all.
Bye. Thank you.